No price movement today. Nothing today. Stay over there, Carl. No price movement, but we could still go through some stuff. Anything people want to talk about? I knew you would be over here, man. I knew it. Why don't you hear me talk? Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to get situated right now. For anybody that's watching. 9 people. Just trying to get situated. All right. I think we're good. No. Twitch. All right. Do you still have some shares of GME? Yes, I do. I still have 2 shares of GME at 240. It's not a crazy amount, but I was waiting for it to drop a significant amount before I make a move in. But yeah, it's at 240, so I'm sitting there a little bit. I did like where it was at at 115 or 116, but I wanted to see it go a little bit lower, somewhere around like 100, a little bit below that would have been great. But now where it's actually sitting at 190, it's just, I don't know, a little bit too high. I could still make a move out of it. It's just I don't want to day trade or swing trade it because it's not a good thing to day trade or swing trade. I mean, it has the capability to day trade or swing trade, but I don't want to do it. Good morning. I'm really hoping we have a better day today. Well, nothing's happening today. There's no price movement today. The markets are closed, so yeah, you're not going to see anything happen today, but hopefully I think we will have a better week next week because we just have a long weekend. Good morning, Todd. How's everybody doing this morning? How's everybody's portfolio? What are you holding? Are you holding AMC? What's your cost average? Are you below your cost average as of now? Because for me, I'm below my cost average. I'm now down $84. This is the first time I've been down since we were down to, since we were at that $5 mark, and it jumped, pretty much that day to like 11. And then after that, I really wasn't down like ever. Bad joke yesterday. You had me. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I sold all my AMC shares. April Fools. I was thinking of doing that, but I feel like people would believe me after what I did with GME the first time. But yeah, and I mean, people would really believe me. That's the point. But I didn't know how that would really take off and how that would sit with a lot of people. If it does not sit well with the fact that I would say, oh, I sold all my AMC shares, that would make people think. And people that don't watch the rest of the video would end up selling their AMC shares just on the basis that I sold my AMC shares. So I didn't want to have that happen. So I didn't do that specifically for that reason. Market is closed today, right? Yes, it is. Holding AMC just over 56 shares, cost basis around $9.30. So a little down right now. And GME holding cost basis around 135. So GME, you're sitting in a good spot. AMC or GME hasn't really, done a crazy amount of damage this week. AMC has done a crazy amount of damage, down from like $11 or so, and the ultimate amount of like $14.87 down to where it is now, $9 and I think it's 27 cents. Yeah, $9.27. But GME didn't really do that bad. Let me actually go to the last 5 days. You can see that they did have, besides that large dip, the majority of the rest of the week was pretty like flat to up, right? You're at 191. It's not anything that dropped significantly like AMC did at 8%, you know? So it's crazy to see that. And then costs didn't really drop as much either. It gained over the day. I was able to actually sell my 200 shares for a profit, for a $600 profit, to where I did try and go back in there for a day trade, to which it went against me somewhere around here. And I sold and lost $40 out of that $600, so it's around 5 something. But I did get back in cost at a cost basis of $23.53. It is down to $22.60. I was looking for it to pull down, but I got in like right before it closed. I didn't expect this. I did want it to go down to 22 in order to get back in, and I knew it was going to go down to 22. I just couldn't really make that move in the after hours market because for some reason I never get my shares bought in the after hours market. It just doesn't happen. Like, it's not as liquid and it doesn't go through. Holding a bit of AMC and Tesla snap. That's good. I think Tesla made some pretty decent moves until they had like a full reversal. Like, they were making some good moves up to 692, and then all of a sudden everything downhill, you know. And it's not that bad. You're still probably up over a certain period of time. You know, we were up from this 591 mark all the way up to 692, and even going down here. Hopefully we don't see a down week next week, because that's enough. I mean, we had pretty much like a full week and a half worth of it. So make sure you guys hit that like button. We got 67 people in here. If you guys could hit that like button, that would be pretty dang good. Good morning, Jack Harris. Why no videos in the afternoon lately? What do you mean? I posted videos yesterday. Or you mean no streams in the afternoon? I mean live streams in the afternoon. Okay. Yeah, it's been a little tough to be able to do that because, you know, the kids get home right when I start to live stream. So I just want to post a video, get my update out. The live streams end up being a little bit tough to do one after the fact. And I'll keep trying to do it. I may get to it like sparingly, but it's just so tough. And the fact that nobody really gets notified. Let me go ahead and notify the Discord group. I'm sorry, I didn't even do that. But yeah, it's a little tough to do those live streams at the end of the day. Good morning, Eric R. Let me go ahead and go back to this. Actually, one more thing to do. I think what sucks is every time I'm holding on to like a swing trade, I always get concerned about the market end up, you know, tanking, because you always have that thought back in your mind, like, yeah, the market can tank based on a lot of factors. and holding swing trades that can eventually go against you. That's where you have to limit your losses. What are the max amount of loss that you could take? Now with Rocket, that's the only thing that's really huge right now. Why do you think we had such a bad week? Well, just one, a lack of volume. We could see the lack of interest going into this. And typically when you have a couple of down days, people wait. They're hesitant to actually trade into different positions. So with the lack of buying power in certain positions, there were some sectors that were just, skyrocketing for the most part. I've seen some positions that were up, 200%, 300%. And, I understand that, the buying power goes somewhere else. So it's not even about just, the overall market being down. It's about certain sectors really taking hits. And I think that's a portion. I think we still have them shorting a lot of positions, a lot of stocks. They're shorting them, especially when it comes to AMC, GME, and costs. I mean, you can look at those, but the overall market just had a complete reversal. I mean, and it wasn't certain sectors that really got hit by that reversal. You've seen things like Tesla. Ride really didn't take a hit, and I was excited about that because Ride, now I'm above my cost basis. That's the only, Fubo TV, I'm up. But that was the only one that I was up. But it wasn't a certain sector because you obviously see the electric, car sector, technology sector wasn't really taking a huge hit across the board. It was mainly just certain positions. So it's a little tough to say, but it's a number of factors. A lot of it has to be people hesitant to buy, and when people are hesitant to buy, then the sellers really win in that case. So it tends to go down for the most part. Good morning, Jerry. Is there a chance that the reason the volume is so low is the prices dropping is because of the lack of availability of shares? This is what you want to see. I mean, yes and no, because there are a ton of shares that are still out there. It's not like a crazy amount because we're holding a lot of them, but there are people that are consistently selling. So there are shares that are available. With the volume so low, it's not just AMC or GME that the volume is low. It's across the board that the volume is low. So yes, that is a little bit of a factor with less shares available. It makes it difficult to buy because nobody's selling. So I understand that. But you do have some people that are selling. In any case, you have the same situation across the board. You can look at, Tesla's volume. Tesla ended up actually had a good day yesterday in the pre-market, but their volume is somewhere around average. So 35 million average, which typically you'll see them actually push above that. You add some low volume for Zom, typically we'll see 171 million. We had 54 million. AMC was low at 77 million versus the 170. GME was low. Rocket was low. Everything was really low. I think Mavis actually had a really good day because they ended up pushing up quite a bit. But they had a lot of volume selling off as well. So their volume was pretty high, even though they decreased quite a bit. So just because volume is high does not mean that we'll see an increase. Volume could be high on the sell side. But yeah, that could be a factor. It's just, I don't think it's a huge factor. I think it's more or less people that are scared to buy into anything that may be pushing down more and might have the ability to push down. Some people might have sold at those high points and sold at $14 or so or whatever, and ended up waiting for it to come down to this point so they can reinvest or see if it gets a little bit lower. A lot of times what people will do is they'll sell at those points and they'll wait until it gets to a point to where they want to invest in that. And if nobody's buying into it because they're waiting for it to go lower and lower and lower, then that's what they're dealing with. You also have people that are not telling you, that are selling their positions at break even and saying, well, if it goes lower, I'll buy in lower, rather than holding on to it and riding it on the way down. So that's also a situation that could take place. Jack Harris, I got notified today, which surprised me because the closed market figured no stream this morning. No, I have the time blocked off, so I might as well just talk it up, chat it up with you guys and gals. We have 141 people in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Morning thoughts on UXIN. Oh, not YouTube.com. I copied the. You know what? Where's that? UXIN. Thoughts on this? It did have a massive rise in the last day or so, from the pre-market to the open to the after hours market, where it did have a little bit of a decrease. It's a little tough. I would like to know what's the reason for all of this, and I don't know the reason. So here's on the rise. But yeah, it has a massive increase that's really quick. You can't really tell what, since there's no history, no real history to what's happening here. I mean, it's at less than $1 here, and then does rise to about $2.32. I would need to know the reasoning behind why this is increasing so rapidly. It's not just something that crazy skyrocketed over 1 minute and then quickly decreased. It's holding strength. So you see, the buyers have buying power over a number of hours, right? So you see this decrease, you have that buying power to where it does flatten out, and then even have more buying power. Now with this decrease here, it's kind of interesting to me how this is playing out, because like I said, I don't know the reason behind this large increase. Anytime I see this, I'm always thinking, hey, you know what, you missed the boat. It's 68% up, you missed the boat. So what I want to see is going into Monday, if we can have some more of that increase and also some reasoning behind it, but I would have to do full due diligence on that. Just looking at the chart, I can't really tell anything. So great movement, not gonna lie, it is great movement. Stair stepping on the way up, showing that it has buying power. Even when people sell off, it has buying power. So it's great movement, it's just really fast. Good morning. I got a notification today. Great. On days where the market's not open, people are getting notifications. Matt, can you tell me if there has been a share with AMC? Can you tell me if there has been a share with AMC? I don't know what you're asking there. Do you plan any longer investments such as a year plus? The only ones that I really go with a year plus that are my long-term investments, or anything that has a dividend that I see as a strong dividend position. Anything that, if I'm looking at ETFs, typically they're strong, they grow slow, and you see that movement, you see that growth. Growth stocks, most likely something like a Tesla or something, but haven't been in those lately. It's mainly been the dividends, ETFs, mutual funds, things like that. Those are my long-term investments. I like my long-term investments to be safe, not these growers that may end up decreasing, because what you're going to see is you see something like, I wonder what Vizio did. They were down, they were actually flat. That's not bad. But yeah, you see something like, let's see, I don't know. Let's look at a certain stock. I don't know. Let's look at Zoom. So you look at something like Zoom, and if we look at 5 years, which is not a thing, you could see that, yes, you had that growth. If you could have invested here, yeah, it's not going to get back to there, and then you would be sitting on that. But what's the difference of you getting in here and selling at, $588 and then not having a drop down to 300? Because if you look at this as like retirement, saying this is a year, this is the next year, this next year, next year, all the way up to like 65, right, or whatever, you see that it did increase quite a bit, but then did decrease a heck of a lot right after that. So by the time you end up retiring, now it's down here. So I really don't like seeing all of those growth positions. I'd rather see a large increase over a short period of time than anything else. If I can grow my account, instead of looking at this would be, okay, $59 I invested in one share or 10 shares, and then it grew to 588 by a certain period of time. But who knows that I'll be ready to retire or ready to get it out at that period of time, and now it's down to here. So it's tough for me. My long-term investments are always like those more safe investments. Anything that's short-term, I'm always looking to gain like 20% or 100% of my money or whatever. If it's a swing trade, I'm looking to gain quite a bit. If it's a day trade, it's mainly like, $100, $200. Sometimes it'll be $1,000, but yeah, I don't really hold too many things for a long period of time, just regular stocks. No. I go by the Mark Cuban method, because Mark Cuban doesn't like to invest in anything that doesn't have a dividend. Yes, he invests in other positions, but his longer term positions, he loves dividends because you're receiving something from that company, So it's now a good time to get into Rocket. I think in my opinion, it might end up coming down a little bit more. I'm still looking to lower the cost basis. My cost basis is $25.99, which is way lower than where it was at $33. So I lowered it quite a bit by adding on shares, also by buying in and selling those same shares. I was able to lower that cost basis. But right now it's at $22.71. I think it can physically get lower. The only thing is I do see a lot of potential with this position. It can really push up, and I don't expect to hold this for a crazy amount of time. I would like to see where it can move to, because typically the movement, you can see like $1, $2 worth of movement, so you can get a decent day trade out of it or a decent swing trade out of it, as long as you're in at the right moment. Like the bottom here would be $21 or $20 or so. I think it has gotten to a low of recently, well, that's before it spiked up $18. So it's gotten to a low recently of $21.70. So it's gotten lower than that. So it definitely can move lower. It wouldn't be a bad time to invest into it. It's at one of its lowest positions. So you make that decision. I'm in it at $25.99. Still think that it has potential. So do with that what you will. I've been learning options to do e-minis myself. Micro e-minis. Waiting on 2K to hit AC now. Can you tell me if there's been a share count on AMC? I don't remember there being a share count on AMC yet. I know if they introduce these new shares and dilute the shareholders, then yes, there will be a share count, and like a more accurate share count. So yeah, that's what I'm waiting on. I know it's going to happen. People are saying, hey, vote no. But yeah, we can vote no, all man together and vote no, but they're going to introduce what they want to introduce. If they want to add more shares, they're going to add more shares. We don't hold that power. I invest in any long-term capital gains? Not really, no. It's mainly just dividends, mutual funds, index funds, the boring stuff. You invest in that boring stuff, it gives you that consistent growth, while every day, every month, you're able to try and grow it by 50%. If you're losing, maybe, I don't know, 20% of what you put in there, and you gain 100%, one of these days, then you're making that money back. You're creating something that's more risky in order to make more money versus all of the safe stuff that's in there. So I like to be very safe with the long-term investments and very aggressive with the short-term investments. Any aggressive routes you've taken? I've taken aggressive routes with penny stocks before, but right now I'm taking a pretty aggressive route with Zomedica. I invested another 1,000 shares into Zomedica with the potential chance of it, hitting that, $3 mark. I'm looking for that to push up to about $2 and some odd cents. I definitely see that happening in the near future. So even gaining 40 cents on 2,000 shares is not bad at all. If it went to $2, that would be amazing. If it went to $2.15, that would be amazing. But if I do see it, pushing up and then has the capability of coming back down, then I will end up selling at that $2 mark. This is where you need to realize, when can you take your profit? Is it okay to take your profit short term if you feel as though it is going to come back down? If it ends up skyrocketing back up, that's understandable. It goes back up, you made your profit. You can be happy with the fact that you made a profit rather than accepting a loss. So a lot of times if I have that's 40 cents on 2,000 shares, what would that be, like $800? $400. Yeah, it would be $800. So I would basically be able to profit out of that, 800. That's not bad for a short-term hold. I've been holding on. I held on to Zomedica before they introduced the Trueforma, and then when they did introduce Trueforma, the day they did, I sold off, and then ended up buying in a couple of days later when it did drop down again, and bought more shares as it continued to go on. Did jump up, I think, to like 180 or something. I have to check it out. Let's check it out. Yeah, the past couple of days, it did jump up to 173, but even before that, it jumped up to 190, to where I was up a little bit, and I didn't really have a crazy amount of shares. My cost basis was higher. It was at 174, so really it was only like 20 cents up, and it wasn't really a great movement. It was less than, I think, it was less than 600 shares at that time. And then as it started to go down, I continued to lower that cost basis. So it's gotten to a low of 143. I don't really see any massive points where it can get crazy lower. It can get to 133 at a large candle wick. This is not even a candle body. Typically I like to go by the candle body, but the candle wick basically says that it can get down to 133. It can get down lower, but typically it's not going to go past those like support levels, especially a hard support like that. So we'll see how that does play out. It is, downhill from when they did introduce Trueforma, and it looks like something that could potentially have that jump back to 220, 230, something like that, and even push up to $3, which it hasn't done since back here. So, and that was in February. It hasn't done since February. So it's going to be tough. It's going to really challenge that. And if we can really push past that, that'll be amazing. But right now, where it sits, people are wondering, should I keep investing in here? And I want to see if it goes down more, because if it goes down to 133, I will invest in another 1,000 shares, maybe 2,000. It's not that high of a price in order to do so. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, Zom has a higher price target around $5. I totally understand where you're coming from. I've said it there as well, for the near future, and it could possibly, depending, what the movement of the company is, it could possibly go to, it could go $5 to $10. Like, you could see some massive movement depending on what people are doing in the stock price. If we buy this all up, yeah, absolutely amazing, right? So that's where it's like, okay, what's going to happen what do I plan on, what's my price target? When do I plan on getting out? Because it's never a great idea to just plan to get out at the high. Because yeah, you can have a price target of $5, but you know, when is that supposed to happen? Are you going to take your profit beforehand, or you know, are you going to wait it out and where it can, you know, come back at you? And I'm looking for the lowest point of the lowest point in order to get into. So if I can sell at any type of, you know, increase, then whatever decrease I see on that day, then I can, you know, buy back in at those lower lows. And that's what I'm hoping for. But hey Matt, how's the court case with the hedge funds going? I don't know if you've seen the rest of the video, but it was an April Fool's joke. Pay the cost to be the boss. Yeah. I absolutely love costs and where they go, how they grow. I did invest $100 more in there. Did take a $600 profit. Could have been a lot more, but I tried to wait it out for $27. This is what always happens. You know, I set my profit target for a certain number and it got to $26.90. Did not break that $27 mark or even got close to it. So as I started to see that, it started to decrease quite rapidly. Like it did not even let up at all. It just like boom, and it went down to like $25, and that's where I ended up selling after, you know, and that was the market order that came out. So the market, the bid-ask spread was kind of far apart. So yeah, that ended up being a difficult situation. How's the federal prison life treating you? It's not treating me well. So when will it squeeze like the title says? That's my question to you guys. No, we can talk about when it will squeeze. I don't know if we will potentially see a squeeze. It depends what your definition of a squeeze is. Do you want to see a large increase to $100? Is that a squeeze to you? Because that's not a squeeze. That's an increase. That's an increase at a massive scale, but it's not a squeeze. A squeeze would push AMC to like $500 or $1,000. Like that's a squeeze. Just like GME had the ability to do the same. GME is actually sitting in a better spot, and it looks like, you know, we're in a pretty bad spot with AMC, but you think about it, anytime we do see those large increases, they come after that massive decrease or, you know, a hold at the low. So where we're sitting, his hat really itches. Where we're sitting, it's not a bad spot. I wouldn't say that it's bad. I would look to keep investing in there. I bought 100 more shares of AMC yesterday at $9.20 something to lower my cost basis by a little bit. It lowered it by like 6 cents. So it wasn't a crazy amount. I only bought 100 shares, and the cost basis was very close to where my cost basis was, so it wasn't gonna move it too much. Carl's over there, and I feel like now that I just said his name, he's gonna come over here. He's relaxing, but anytime he hears his name, he always gets up. Surprised you would pull that joke yesterday. Done with AMC now. Wait, you're done with AMC now? When will AMC hit $20? I wouldn't be surprised if they hit it in the next couple of weeks. Just seeing we're right now at like that calm before the storm, right? So if it's starting to have that massive decrease after this, where it was sitting, you're saying that people are willing to just sell off and let it drop down to $8 and some odd cents and down to $9 again, go up and then down to $9 again? No, this is something that's a form of, you know, you have a little bit of manipulation. You have people that are afraid to buy into a position that is, you know, dropping down a little bit, trying to find the absolute low. And, you know, it just makes it very, very difficult for us to get any type of rise out of this. So we can see that it fought multiple times at $14 and some odd cents. So it makes me think that they are going to push past that. We've seen a number of positions actually tank over the number of days that we've had. So it's not just AMC. It's mainly about people that are afraid to invest in a market that's potentially could be a down market. And all of these scare tactics that are going on with everything, it's a little ridiculous. All of these articles are basically saying, oh, don't buy into AMC. This is the reason why you shouldn't buy into AMC. AMC will hit $0 soon. All of these other scare tactic articles are ridiculous. And that's another reason. Your prank was the last straw. I saw halfway through the video. I sold halfway through the video? Really? That's what I tried to prevent by telling people. You know what I should have said? I should have said that. I don't think anybody else did that, but I should have said, I'm still holding on to my positions. I'm still holding strong. But I didn't say that. But I am. I'm still holding strong. And I've some. Here's your April 1st video. The Oscar. That was it. So you think the emotion at the start of the video was good? Yeah, I could typically do that on command. So I think I'm an okay actor. I just feel like I would have a laughing problem with acting. I could probably be okay. Yeah, I can show emotion really well. The stock is undervalued in my opinion. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Pre-COVID, it traded $20 at the $20 range. Well before pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, it was somewhere around $7. It was declining at the moment. You could see, like in the beginning of the year, it was declining, but it was at $10. It did go up to $20. It was up there. It wasn't in a bad spot at all. But it's just they needed to make some changes in order to increase that stock value, in order to get interest and drive revenue and all of those things. So yeah, I think right now if they are looking to change their business model, get people really interested in buying tickets and eating in at their dine-in theaters, all of these different things, I think we'll see their stock price easily they'll be valued at that $20 range. I think that currently they should be valued between $10 and $15. But with all of the hype around them, we should be, this stock price should be skyrocketing. It should be through the roof. Where their value is, it should be double that easily. So $15, it should be at $30. $10, it should be at $20. So it should be $20 to $10, like that, or $20 to $10, $20 to $30. That's where I feel it should be. I lost my mind yesterday and bought 750 more AMC, and now I have to wait for more money to settle for bigger trades. I understand. I see this all the time, and I had $9,000 sitting free because I sold my cost shares, and then I was like, all right, well, you know what? I'll buy into cost again if it does go lower. I bought in at the end of the day. I also bought into Fubo TV to where I made $40 something yesterday. So $46 yesterday. Costs, I'm up a total of $533. I actually had a little bit of a loss with them, and now I have a loss as well. I have $93 and I'm down. So the total P&L is $530, which I'm fine with. I mean, that's still a pretty decent gain here. So yeah, I'm looking to gain a pretty decent amount with Ride. Currently up $77. I'm looking to gain a decent amount with them. Their stock looks so interesting to me because it shows growth, and I understand people bring up the fact they have a lawsuit, right? I don't care about that. If we didn't see the effects of that in the beginning when that was actually happening, it's not something that I really care about. So When we look at the position, you could see that it fought $30 multiple times. Can it get to $30 again? Yes, I do believe it can. Am I going to sell at $30? I'm probably going to sell before that. I'm not going to let it get up to that top point. I'm going to let it go up to like $25 and sell before that. I have 200 shares. If it does go lower, then I'll buy more shares. It did go down to $10 where I was looking to buy more and more shares. I didn't end up doing that, but I should have bought 100 more shares, which I could have. But I wanted to see it, have a little bit of a decline yesterday, and if it did, then I would have bought more shares under my cost basis. My cost basis right now is $11.86. The previous support level that I did have before this large drop was 1280. So the fact that it did get below 1280 quite a bit concerned me, getting down to $10 because I'm $2 or close to $3 off of the, I guess actually $2 exactly. $2.20. But yeah, basically $2.20 off of the my entry point. So it kind of sucked. But I only had 100 shares at that time. So then I was able to lower that cost basis down here, and I should have lowered it by adding on 200 shares, not adding on 100 shares. But I think RIDE is going to be pretty good, just with the potential growth that it could have. Even up to $18, you're going to see a pretty substantial gain. $200 per dollar that it goes up. That's basically what I will gain. Looks like you didn't get the best price on cost when you rebought. Yeah, well, I got the best price for the day. So when I actually bought in, I bought in at the end of the day. Where's cost? I had it somewhere. Yeah, I bought it at the end of the day, and right now it's sitting at $22.60. It dropped down in the after hours market, which I know that I can never get anything filled in the after hours market. It just doesn't go through. So I had to buy into that point. So I only bought in at 100 shares, knowing that it probably will come back down. And that's with the thought of buying into maybe 200 more shares after that. So that's what I'm thinking, just to get in there and lower that cost basis down to 22. And that's if it does continue to go down. So I want that to go down to 21 or 19 so that I can, make some moves there. But yeah, you're right, 100% right. I was like, I should get into cost before, because typically in the morning, a lot of times when you see it in the pre-market, you're going to see a jump, right? You're going to see that increase. What we seen with costs yesterday was a large jump throughout like the middle of the day, which I was really excited about. But what we typically see is that jump in the morning. And that's what I want to see, is that large jump in the morning. And that's what I feel as though we're going to see in on Monday. We'll see that large jump and a large decrease right after that. So I'm going to sell at that large jump, make some money out of that as a quick swing trade. If it does jump up to $27, then I can gain $100 per dollar, or yeah, $100 per dollar that it moves up. I'm fine with that. Basically just increasing the amount that I'm gaining on cost as a whole, bringing that to about $1,000 or so. So let's see if that's the case. But cost goes up and down, and I just want to ride that train, really. I want to get off the train at the peak. How much you go in with? For costs? Or are you talking to me? You're talking to someone else? That is a long name. Right, I'm gonna look into it. Yeah, I think it's a good position. I think it has a lot of potential. Would it be possible to talk about Naked? Yeah, let's talk about Naked. Let's look at. I struggle with Naked Brand because where's Naked Brand? I struggle with Naked Brand because the way that they're decreasing, it just doesn't look like they have any pops left. Like, you can see that they did have that increase, but you see it's rapidly decreasing, creating these new highs, but then lower highs, right? It's not something that's having that rapid increasing, showing that it has the full capability of growing. The volume isn't there. 33 million to the average of 207 million. I just don't see it. It dropped down to 65 cents and then jumped up to 89 cents, but that's still not over the previous like high. It's not showing any indications of increasing here. You have that large increase, and then it's just slowly, with a lot of spikes, slowly decreasing. I can't see anything positive in Naked Brand yet. So yeah, it's tough to see anything positive with that. I don't want to say anything negative about a position that somebody's thinking about, but in my opinion, I would not invest in that because I don't see any ability of coming back. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something that fell off and had a previous low at those levels and was able to come back from. You see where it is, where it got to down here. It's in between a level to where it grew so fast that it had no type of support anywhere. It had no support, no resistance. It was literally just pushing the stock price based on this pump. So it's tough to see anything there. What do I think of VIAC? Yeah, no problem. What do I think of VIAC? Let's look at Viacom. I'm still waiting for that push. With this, it was a falling knife, and now we're starting to see some places to where we could gain some support here. So you see how it did bounce off this level from back here. It bounced off this level, showing that it does have a little bit of buying support. And I just want to see that bounce. We need to see that trigger to where this 15 moving average starts to curl up towards that 200 EMA, so that we can see that crossover, show that indication of an uptrend. Right now, it's just not. It's not looking good. It's leveling out. It's better than what it did in these previous areas. We're showing a little bit more support, a little bit more buying power, but right now it's just really tough to see anything positive here. So we have to wait for that increase. You might be at that low at $39.81, but the problem is that we don't know if that's going to continue to push up, or we're going to see this end up tanking. So you invest in whatever you feel as though you can invest in that. I just wouldn't make a move until I see any type of upward momentum, especially with something that decreased this much from $100 down to $39. Yeah, I would wait, in my opinion. South Carolina, thanks. Thank you for the super chat. Make sure you guys hit that like button, get it over 150. It feels like it's a weekend. It feels like it's a weekend even though I'm working. You got one viewer over on Twitch. Thank you for watching over there. Make sure you guys subscribe to my MP Shorts channel. The link is actually pinned to the chat if you guys are interested. It is a short form content channel. And right now, I think we're at 800 plus subscribers. So if we can get that to 1,000 subscribers, that would be amazing. I wanted to get it to 1,000 this week, but I don't know if that will happen. So if you can get that to 800, that would be amazing. Man, I thought of getting some puts on Viacom. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I mean, it was really pushing, really pulling down. And that was on Monday. What was Monday? The 29th, the 28th? Yeah. I would have loved to have shorted that position, but I don't short often. You're at 816 now. Just subbed. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate that a lot. And thank you for giving me the update on where we're actually at. 816, that's amazing. In 2 weeks, that's amazing to be able to grow that to 816 subscribers. And a lot of it was, organic as well. We got a lot of views on there. I think we're pushing like 40,000 views for the past 2 weeks. I just started it. So if we can continue to grow that, that'll be amazing. 817. Thank you, Tyler Joseph. Oh, the 29th. Yeah, so you would have had some pretty decent move down there. You would have been good. I would have loved to have shorted this position, but obviously this is unshortable. So this move was crazy, though. I'm surprised I didn't know about what was happening here. And it actually wasn't that insane. It was just over a number of days, right? So it happened from, say, the beginning of March, right? No, even the beginning of March, down to $66 up to $101. That's a pretty big gain for beginning of March to the end of March. You can get some pretty nice movement there. And if you bought a crazy amount of shares, yeah, you're making a lot of money there. Top of the morning. Top of the morning to you, Andrew. We got 335 people in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you guys want to join the Discord group, please do so. Link is in the description. That's where I notify everybody that I'm live, because I don't get any type of notifications. Apparently, some people got notifications today. I didn't upload anything this morning. I guess I think they go by the amount of things that you upload. So if you upload too many times, you only get notified for like a couple of videos. Like for me, Kevin, I don't get notified for like any of his videos because he uploads too many videos. And maybe that's the case. I'm starting to learn about crypto. Yeah, I'm trying to learn about crypto as well, because I want to get into Ethereum. I would love to get into Ethereum. I have some, I don't even know how much. It might be like $100 worth of Ethereum in my crypto wallet. But I would like this to pull back down to like 1,500. Because even at 1,800, you could have made a decent amount of money there by holding on to it for a little bit. Maybe selling off at whatever peak it's at. But it doesn't look like it follows the same rules as like stocks. I guess maybe it does. You see some support levels, some resistance levels that you can hit. It did break past that one, but it previously broke past it. So I don't believe, and maybe it will break past that, but I do want to see that decrease down to like 1,300. I have an alert set at 1,000 some odd dollars, 1,500 some odd dollars. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Streams usually land on the homepage if you're subbed. Well, some people get notifications. That's the thing. So I'm subscribed to a number of people. So yeah, I'll see Meet Kevin's stream on the homepage. That's usually where I find it if I am looking for like market close or market open stuff after I stop streaming. What do you think of 23andMe stock? VGAC. Let's see. So a lot of movement from the introduction. You could see that it did show where the support and resistance levels actually are, with a lot of increasing here. So I must have looked at this back in January, because I thought that this was going to take off, which it did end up taking off, but then end up having a huge fall back down to lower lows. That's huge. Down to $10.20. That doesn't look like a bad position. Yes, you did have that massive fall off. I don't know what is the full reason to why we had that massive fall off, if there was no strength whatsoever, because it bypassed every single like support level you could possibly have. Completely tanked off those support levels over a number of days, right? So that sucks. Let's take this away. But yeah, it doesn't look like a bad position. I would have to look into more of the news, more of the information as to why it's down to this $10 value. But you can definitely see that there's potential. It is at a lower low. It got down to a low of $9.81. So this is basically at the lowest point to where it can get to, showing a lot of support at that $10 level, meaning that anything that it could increase would be above that. It wouldn't have that massive fall after that, from what I'm understanding. So for me, I can say that, all right, well, you know what? Let me try and get that person out of here. So yeah, hopefully that's okay. But yeah, I think that when you are at those lower lows there, closer to where the lows were in the starting point, you've seen all of this buying strength that it has above that point. So it's not a bad move to actually get in there, make a little bit of money from it, and maybe invest in like 100 shares or so, or maybe even less than that. You can possibly have those moves where you did see some of those really strong support levels, those strong buying levels. So I would watch out for this. It's not bad. I just want to see some more news that tells me as to why this got so low, because it did pass every single support level that I could possibly see at a massive scale. So it's interesting. Back from February 5th. So we'll have to take a look at that. So in 2 months, that pretty much lost all gains that it had. You're not able to trade today, correct? Unless you're trading crypto. No, you're not allowed to trade today. The markets are closed. I agree. Doge is not gonna go anywhere. 10K coins made every minute. How is that sustainable? Well, the thing about it with a lot of crypto is that you can mine at a massive scale in the beginning, right? But then it should end up tapering off as it starts to get closer to the amount that's available. What's the total amount that's available for Doge? Is it ridiculous? Because I believe that's where, and I'm kind of speaking out of my ass here, but I believe that's where Bitcoin, sets itself apart, right? You only have a certain amount that are available to mine, and once you start getting closer and closer to those, the demand starts to go up and up. So yeah, that's tough. We have 341 people in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Ooh. I was able to turn 99 cents of Ethereum into $1.78 by leveraging my daily interest. That's pretty good. Just imagine if you did that at a massive scale. What's up with AMC? Will it go back to 10? Yeah, it'll go back to 10. Ethereum looking sexy today. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm upset. I wanted to buy into it when it was at 1,800, but then I was told, look, it'll go down. Just hold and or just like hold off. Carl, stop hitting things with your tail. Just hold off and wait until it goes down to 1,500 or 1,300, and then you'll be able to make some money there. From what I've read up on, there's no cap on Doge. There's no cap on Doge. So then, yeah, that's not going anywhere. It'll probably go somewhere. It'll probably jump, but why would there not be a cap on it? Stop, Carl. I make robotic noises. Beep, beep, boop, beep. If you're going to invest in crypto, buy the real. Yeah, I understand. I want to see those drop before I actually buy into those. But I'm buying. I'm going to get into Ethereum. I'm going to probably get into Bitcoin as well. But where it is, it's obviously a high price to pay. I would love to own one Bitcoin, not just like a portion. I hate owning portions of something. It's a stupid amount. They add to Doge every year. Maybe I could look it up. What the cap on Doge? Right. Created with Sketch, Dogecoin is not a cryptocurrency. You would expect it to read about much in the column since it's not exactly an institutional grade asset. It has a market cap of over 8 billion. As I'm writing this, less than 1/100th of Bitcoin. No unique use case. And okay, so total value of all coins have been mined with Bitcoin. Those numbers are 18.5 million. Mined circulating supply, and you can use 21 million. It will eventually be mined. So it looks like the market cap for Bitcoin is 21 million, and then Dogecoin is 8 billion. How does that even? That's ridiculous. Will Dogecoin ever be capped? An explanation as to how many. I'll have to go through this. So I want to go through a lot of this stuff just so I can see, because I do want to invest in something that's at that low of an amount, you know, being able to look at Bitcoin. But they're saying Dogecoin has a market cap of 8 billion versus Bitcoin being at 21 million and 18, I think it was, what is it, 19 million that's mined? Yeah, 18.5 million that's already mined. So the last, 2.5 million is very tough to mine. Not market cap, it's the total coins to be mined. Isn't that the same thing? I know Bitcoin is considered a cryptocurrency and Dogecoin is not. So you would kind of think of those as the same thing. I just think USDC is a digital gold and Ethereum is a digital silver. True. So that means if you think of it, what's the price of gold versus the price of silver? It's not too far off, right? So we have to, that probably is kind of far, but I think that Ethereum could be, valued at that $10,000 mark from where it is now, and I do want to see that decrease to about $1,000 some odd dollars worth, so that I can buy into 2 Ethereum and end up growing that. See, that's a position that I would get into as a growth position, just because of the massive growth that could be with that. So it'll grow it at a crazy scale. Same thing with something like a Dogecoin. If they end up capping it, if it does end up finding a cap in any way, then yeah, we can invest in that and do something with that. But we have 357 people in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. You should be hitting that like button every time you see it. If it's not blue, make it blue. Market cap is over 100 billion. I expect Doge to hit $1 someday. Just not sure what decade. Oh, I think that'll move as long as we see some positivity there. I mean, you have a lot of people talking about it, so that creates interest. You do see it grow at an exponential rate, but I would like to be able to. One, I don't even know where I can buy Doge at because I can't buy it in Webull. Even though it's not labeled as a crypto, I still have it under here as a crypto, but I cannot buy it in Webull. I can buy Ethereum, I believe. I can buy them. I can buy Bitcoin as well if I wanted to. Yep. So, I don't know. I guess we're not looking at some of these stocks, but it doesn't matter. Um, Market cap over 100 billion. Market capitalization, total value of all coins. See here, it says for crypto like Bitcoin, market capitalization or market cap is the total value of all coins that have been mined. With Bitcoin, those two numbers are 18.5 million, which is a circulating supply, versus the 21 million that will eventually be mined. So that's what's considered the market cap for crypto. It's not considered in a different way. I don't see where you're saying it's at 100 billion. Market cap. Oh, I guess you're, I guess I'm wrong. So every time I Google something different, Bitcoin BTC market capitalization as of February 22nd, 2021. In January, oh wait, that's 600 billion in the U.S. 600 billion U.S. dollars, I guess. Yeah. Uh, Bitcoin market cap reached an all-time high. It had grown over 400 billion U.S. dollars when compared to the summer months. The market capitalization currently sits at more than 600 billion U.S. dollars. Okay, so the market capitalization from U.S. dollars. I'm talking about the cap of. So let's look at it differently. Instead of looking at the market cap, the cap of coins available. So Bitcoin has a total available of 21 million. Um, yeah, so obviously, yeah, of 21 million, and they have 18 million that they've already mined, 18.5 million. So the last basically 2.5 million is very tough for them to mine. However, Dogecoin, I don't know if this is. I'll have to look into this because it's not the right thing. I guess it's pulling up market cap. It has a market cap of over 8 billion. So it's lower than what Bitcoin market cap is, but I just want to know how many coins are available and how many coins will be eventually mined, because there's a whole article here which I want to end up, you know, going into in detail. Will they ever have a cap? Dogecoin has a supply limit of 100 billion coins. Wow. That's crazy. See, that creates like like the supply and demand. It just ruins it all, right? Why would you create that many? I don't know. It bothers me. So you're right. 21 million available for. How can the same company have different price stock, like Ford Motor Company? What? Imagine trying to mine Bitcoin today. It would be pretty much impossible, right? You're literally at the tail end of things. This is why you're seeing it increase at a massive scale. Same company, a different price. PLTR is tough. Some people are mentioning PLTR. I did see the movement with them. The only thing that I wasn't seeing is the fact that we weren't seeing this bounce off of here. I thought we were going to see this bounce from here. Showing a hard support. It did end up going lower after it did increase. I thought we were going to see this, test some more levels. It did end up getting somewhere close to here to test, but then failed that test. Decreased quite a bit to lower lows. Anything closer to that we can adjust off of. Yeah, so it looks like $21 is more of a bounce as well. So we can see that bounce up from here. So if we're looking at the chart, we can definitely see some potential of growing up to 27, retesting 30. We just need to see those retests and obviously break through those retests, because it got close, right? Getting close to this 200 EMA, but failed that retest. So we need to see that more and more as we continue to grow, but it's a little tough to see. What are you doing, Daisy? Yeah, it's a little tough to see here, but I do agree that PLTR is a pretty good position. You just need to see a little bit more movement. I do see this upward movement.